Hi, I'm Tim from EngageMyStaff.com, and I'd like to thank you for joining me on this video explaining the keys to effective delegation and how it can improve your staff engagement. There are 9 key elements, and although that sounds like a lot, most of them can be checked off as you go through your meeting with the delegatee. Here are the 9 key elements, and note there is a checklist to download in the show notes or on the website. Checklist item number 1. Is there sensitive information included in the task? The last thing you want to do is risk giving access to sensitive information to your staff or have it released into the public. Unless you can ensure the appropriate safeguards are in place, then defer delegating until you have them. You don't want to put your staff member in a compromising position. That's not going to create engagement. Checklist item number 2. What level of skill is needed to perform the task? Is it technical? It might relate to standards and qualifications, and hopefully you have some sort of skills matrix available. Is it computing, data entry, designing, coding? Is there a physical aspect? Do they need to be 6'3" and able to run a marathon? So by looking at these elements, you've got some idea of who in your team can do the job, and then you're ready to move to checklist item number 3. What's the reason for the delegation of the task? It might be to save you time so you can do another project, go on holiday, spend more time coaching, and you can go into as much detail as you need here. It might be to give the staff member an opportunity to develop some new skills. It might be both. The key is to write it down so you remember it in your meeting later. Checklist item number 4. Note the frequency. Will this task be done daily, weekly, monthly, or is it a one-off project that has an outcome and finish date of, say 3 months from now? The key is to write it down so you remember it in your meeting later. Checklist item number 5. Why do you think they are the best person to do it? Now, you need to give the staff member some motivation and build up their self-esteem by telling them why they were the one you picked. Use language like, well, I've noticed you did a fantastic job on that regional project last month. You've got the right training and background. It's a great opportunity for you to shine. So again, this is an opportunity to congratulate them on work well done and show that you are invested in their development. The key is to write it down so you remember it in your meeting later. Before you move on to the next item on the checklist, you need to arrange a meeting to discuss the task or project with the staff member you've selected. In the meeting, you'll tell them all the things you've noted in checklist items 3, 4 and 5 above. When you've explained those things, you need to move to checklist item number 6. Are they a willing participant? And have you asked about their current workload? So now you're confirming that they're happy to take on the project, and you may get objections. This is an opportunity to understand them a little better. If they don't feel comfortable, you'll need to explore a bit more. But ultimately, if they don't think they can do it, then you're going to have to select somebody else. Plus, you need to ask about how this would affect their current workload and what they might need to postpone or offload to be able to take it on. Checklist item number 7. Document what you currently do to get the task done yourself. Yes, we get it. You don't have a lot of time to document stuff. That's why we've been doing it all yourself. But that's a short-term solution. Get creative with your documentation. You could screen record your process with a narration. Doesn't need to be Hollywood quality. Just enough that your delegatee can run through it and get the main concepts. You could talk it through on your voice memos, or you could make a list of all the documents and processes available for them to source and review. Checklist item number 8. Give them the documentation and give them some time to review it and then schedule a meeting to get their feedback and get agreement on the how, why and when of the task or project. Make sure you ask them to explain what they believe to be the job or task so that you have a good feeling that they understand the key elements and tools required. Confirm the timing and reinforce that they shouldn't be afraid of approaching you at any time when they need clarity. You'll be happy to answer any questions. Checklist item number 9. When you've checked all the boxes 1 to 8 above, release the bird, let it fly, but make sure you set a check-in date. It's imperative to check in with them regularly. So book a time that suits both you and your delegatee right there and then. This is the time you can't just abdicate responsibility and hope it all goes to plan. Let's just summarise. When you are using the effective delegation checklist, you are building staff engagement by default because you are getting to know your staff better, inviting them into a greater sense of meaning in the business, praising them for work well done in the past, and ensuring they have clarity about the work they are doing. All these are key elements of staff engagement. And you're creating more space for yourself. It's really a win-win situation. So download the checklist and give it a run. We'd love to hear about how you went and if you've got any suggestions about how it could be improved. Until we engage again, take care of yourself and your staff.